So hello, welcome. I'm very excited to be here for an alumni interview with John Musa from our accounting program. My name is CJ McGilvery from the marketing and communications team. John, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and it's nice to be reach out and reconnect with Aston.
Absolutely. So I just have a couple questions for you about your experiences in the program. To start, could you tell us a little bit about your career and educational background and sort of what were the steps that brought you to doing the accounting program at Ashton?
Yes, I'm from the Philippines. I'm back in the Philippines. I'm a certified public accountant, and I work with market leaders in shipping. I was the vice president for finance with at the largest shipping company in the Philippines with
Wow.
1,000 people, staff. I was supervising finance, treasury, credit and collection, and administration. And prior to that, I worked with Coopers and Lybrand. That's when I started my career. I graduated as an accountant from University of San Beda. So when I came to Canada, you know what it is, right? You have a foreign credentials, then you're not
Mhm.
recognized. So in Canada, I work in non-accounting work. So
Mhm.
I did great in sales and marketing. So I was marketing manager for Leaf Guard Gutters and business development manager for
Wow.
School Wizard. And then my wife, who was able to get her RN in Canada, inspired me or convinced me to pursue my accounting because that's my core competence. So
Mhm.
I searched for many schools, and Aston was become my primary choice back then. That I think that was almost 10 years ago, eh?
Mhm. I think that's the date it said, yeah.
Nine years ago. So Aston was, first is the location. Second, I reviewed the comments of alumni, and maybe
Mhm.
because of this effort that you're doing now, a very strong connection with the alumnus like me.
Mhm.
So there was good review about the school, Aston. So I
Wonderful.
thought initially to feel it if there is a difference between Philippines accounting and Canadian accounting. So, and gladly, I think I was given credits of much of the courses. So, yeah, it was a very good experience for me to be at Aston.
I'm so glad to hear that. You touched on something really important, I think, that I've heard from a lot of alumni is coming to Canada, having foreign credentials, and then having those not be recognized and how frustrating that can be. And like you said, you were working in another industry for a while because you obviously have this broad range of skills, but it's really exciting to hear that you were able to do the accounting program and you're now working in your chosen field, right?
Yes, I've been working in accounting for the past 6 years.
Mhm.
And after the program, it reignited my interest in
Wow.
accounting. And I'm now pursuing my CPA actually. So I was I was contracted by real estate development companies. So I help them with their books. And I usually take difficult job. Like
Just to keep it interesting.
one of my clients was being run after by the bank.
Okay.
Unfortunately for that company, the I think the former bookkeeper was on leave and everything is, not updated. So that was my first real accounting job in Canada.
Wow.
And it was a very successful engagement. So I was able to renew the line of credit of the company, and the owner was very, very happy, very,
Wow.
very happy. And after that engagement, I moved to another company in Richmond. I stayed there for 18 months, and the task is almost the same. and the situation was almost the same. The bookkeeper was on maternity leave, and the company was applying to be accredited by the Canadian government because it positioned itself as organic food suppliers.
Okay.
And then I also helped the company to be accredited by big guys, Superstore, London Drugs,
Wow.
and most importantly, of course, I was able to help them with their accounting records, especially in costing. So, and by the way, one of your question was who were the memorable instructor at that
Hmm.
time. One is that I forgot his name, Francis, the communication guy.
Okay. I've
What's his
heard from
name?
other I don't know his name. I can always look that up, but I have heard from other students about like a business communications course within
Yes,
the accounting program.
he was
Yeah.
he was awesome. He was, oh my God. He was, me being a senior person coming from another country.
Hmm.
And for me, he was a value added my Canadian education. The other lady was the QuickBook lady, also equally good. A Chinese lady, very patient, very good.
Wonderful.
And the business law lady, an Indian lady, very nice lady. Yeah. So yeah, so that second engagement was more comprehensive in terms of scope. I helped them in the direct cost accounting, and as I said, I was able to help the company to be accredited and to be a supplier of these big guys, Superstore.
Hmm.
That's and of course the the related Loblaws system, right? Like TNT and Superstore.
So you really helped them get to the next level of where they
Yeah,
need to be
because
as a business.
if you are, I'm talking as a foreign professional. That is what I learned. Canadians, I may be wrong. Correct me if I was wrong. It's only my observation. Canadian is very conservative. Um, if you are new in the team, then they look at you in. I'm talking in a positive way. Look at you in, they don't like me. I'm a vice president for finance with
Hmm.
I did IPO, by the way, and it's a public offering. I was a World Bank consultant. I was a CEDA project officer. But when I come to Canada, all of these are nothing. So you have to prove yourself. And then,
Hmm.
like, for example, when I came to Canada in 96, I applied for a job as an accounting manager. And I thought I was discounting myself because I was a vice president of
So you're
authorization.
kind of applying for
But
lower than
I did not get the job.
Mhm.
That's why I went to sales and marketing job. So in Canada, you must have first. It's like damn you do, damn you don't. You may have the experience, but they say you don't have Canadian credentials.
Mhm.
And you may have Canadian credentials, but they say you don't have the experience. So, so that's where Aston comes in.
Mhm.
I had the Aston credentials. So when you put it in your resume that you have Canadian educational credentials,
Mhm.
it helps. It open up the doors.
Absolutely.
And once the door is open, just like the real estate company, the owners see that, hey, you studied in Canada, so you must understand Canadian accounting, Canadian taxation. So once you're in, because of that credentials, then it gives you the opportunity to prove your skill. And then yeah, then the rest is history. So I become a finance manager close to the school in Pender.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
In Pender,
downtown
very close
Vancouver.
to the school. So I was a finance manager for a software company.
Wow.
So unfortunately, the company was sold, and the new owners asked me to move to New York, and I don't want to go to New York. So I was, because of my experience and of course the credentials,
Mhm.
I become attractive to headhunter people like Robert Half, McDonald's, so these people. So I was referred I'm now an accountant for Walden Group of Companies.
Wow.
So I'm doing the senior management reporting weekly. So I call it CEO reporting. I
Hmm.
do also their cash position per day, and I do cash projection. At the same time, I was also tasked, maybe because of my broad experience, I'm also interested to do special projects.
Okay. Hmm.
So special projects are, for example, launching a new product. So they request me to do a market analysis. And then
Yeah.
my latest project, for example, which is a very big project, was implementation of electronic data integration. So
Yeah.
EDI is a very challenging project because you have to work with, of course, the internal stakeholders who are the user of the system.
Hmm.
And then I have to manage three consultants. These are technical consultants.
Hmm.
I had to deal with our clients, Walmart, Home Depot. These are the big guys. So
Wow.
electronic data integration was when they send an order, it's sent through the interchange, sent to the system. So instead of in the past, what was happening was when there is an order from Home Depot will send the order and our staff will print the order and then print the form.
Hmm.
And then after printing the form, encoding the data into our system with a SysPro, with the
Hmm.
EDI that is automatically integrated with SysPro.
Wow. So
So
really increasing efficiency.
I was the project manager for that. So I was the one who do the initial evaluation, and then
Hmm.
I presented it to the owners, and they say, hey, that looks good. We're gonna save a lot of money. We're gonna save a lot of time. But indeed, they based on the first year experience, despite of the COVID, we increased our revenue by 70%.
That's incredible.
And when we
Wow.
evaluated, when we asked, for example, Home Depot why it happened, of course, one reason was Americans. 80% of our market is American. They say American has more time to do work improvement. But
Home improvements. Yeah.
yeah, but I asked why you give it to us. They say because you have the EDI.
Hmm.
Because with the EDI, you provide timely information to all the stakeholders. Give
Hmm.
timely information for internal stakeholders like me as an accountant, the controller, the owners of how much was the sale. You got give timely information to the customer, the end users. You give timely information to our partners like Home Depot. So after Ashton, it was smooth sailing to me. I think
Wow.
the worst enemy of people like me who are senior person, highly qualified professional. And you can share it with your students. I know you're attracting lots of this kind of students. Like
Hmm.
the worst enemy is impatience,
Okay. Wow.
and impatience result in discouragement, frustration, and like accounting. Wherever you go, accounting is accounting, right? It's still debit and credit. And why does Canada requires me to school? So if you don't have that patience and you don't have that understanding if what Canada is and who Canadian is, then you will
Hmm.
hate Canada, definitely. But if you accept it, embrace it, then like my experience, the rest is history. I'm now receiving six figures per year. So
It's a very inspiring story.
yeah,
You talk
so
about all your work history and how getting those Canadian credentials just opened all those doors for you, and you've had so much success since.
yeah. And Aston, I thought Aston has a very good credentials, or how should I say it, credibility among
Mhm.
the employers, because I, I I put it in my resume. I finished diploma in diploma in accounting from Aston. So yeah, they say, oh, Aston. My son attended Aston. Oh, my
Oh,
son
wow.
Aston. So in the interview, it becomes a non-technical question, right?
Yeah, a good talking point to chat about, and that's wonderful to hear.
I think maybe the big difference of Aston is your team reaching out to
Mm.
alumni. That's awesome. That's
Wow, thank you.
that's good.
It honestly makes my job so much more fun too, just to be able to engage with alumni and see the success stories, see the positivity, and
Yeah,
how sending that feedback to our instructors, whether or not if they were teaching with us 10 years ago or if they're new, it's so important for them to hear that positive feedback about the
yeah.
experiences. Yeah.
My experience was the instructors were respectful for people like me. You know, I'm a senior guy when I joined you guys. Like I attended the CPA preparation, right, for the CPA. So one of the instructor was when he read my resume, why are you here? But in Aston, no, they don't have that kind of they take you, and then at the same time they recognize that you are a senior person at the
Mhm.
same time. So which I really appreciate. Right.
That's
Very
so wonderful to hear. Was there anything that really surprised you about your experiences learning at Ashton?
no nothing,
No?
nothing. I was always excited to come. And
Wonderful.
like for example, one QuickBooks, for example. Uh, I would say I'm now an expert in QuickBooks. So
Hmm.
I learned it from Aston, from that Chinese lady. I forget her name. Very, oh my God, she has all the energy. It's so, yeah, he has the energy. I don't know if she's still with you guys.
I'm sure I can find out her contact
Yeah,
info. Yeah, I'll verify it after.
Chinese lady. She has all the enthusiasm.
Wow.
And yeah, I never used QuickBooks prior to Austin.
Okay.
I what is this? I use Oracle. Not me. I when I was with that shipping company, I implemented Oracle. We use Oracle, and I was a consultant with the largest appliance company in Pakistan. So I was in Pakistan for 8 months. I helped them implement Oracle. Oracle is a
Wow.
big system, robust system. And by the way, one of the reasons I went to Aston's, I forgot to mention to you, was I was invited for an interview in Pintington by a accounting company because the owner is planning to retire.
Okay.
But it goes back to what we discussed earlier. Do you have the experience? Canadian? I said yes. I have a lot of experience. I worked with Coopers and I said no. Canadian experience. I said no. And then, do you have Canadian credential? I said no. And then because he appreciated me going to Penticton from Vancouver, so he advised me to get QuickBooks.
Mhm.
And then when I researched, I went to Google, I went to research, and I learned there is, maybe because of this professor or instructor, this lady, I
Mhm.
heard that Aston has a very strong QuickBook program.
Wonderful.
Maybe that I just remember. So
Mhm.
that gentleman advised me to get QuickBooks, saying that many small businesses in Canada is using QuickBooks.
Mhm.
And true enough, as I told you, the real estate company was using QuickBooks. That manufacturing company in Richmond is using QuickBooks. Now I'm
Mhm.
using CISPRO.
Okay. It's kind of moved all over the place with the different
Yeah,
software.
so yeah, but QuickBooks, I still use QuickBooks in my personal little business, and then that QuickBook is still my recommended. Yeah,
Mhm. So do you have a sort of private accounting consulting business that you do on the side of your main
I
work?
still maintain my private consulting, but most of my clients is based in the Philippines,
Okay.
and I have two clients who, from time to time, get my advice, and
Mhm.
most of the time ask me to review their accounting records before they submit it to the bank.
Oh, okay.
all
Hmm.
to the external accountant. Yeah, I still that I thought that will keep my mind tuned up,
Yeah.
keep my mind tuned up. But my current employer is really, tickling my mind.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
they
So
give
you're
me,
always learning on the job?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love my current job. I've been with them for the
Uh,
last almost 3 years already.
wow.
I love the owners. Yeah, yeah.
Wh-
It's yeah. It's very very fulfilling.
Is
Up
there
to Ashton.
one
I did
thing?
not go to Austin. I'll still be in sales and marketing until today.
Wow. Huge, huge lifestyle and career shift.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is huge.
Yeah. Is there one thing that you love the most about your job today?
Oh yeah, it's the fact that I'm trusted by the owners,
Hmm.
and maybe because that is their management style. They don't look on your shoulder. They don't time. They don't bandy clock you. So
Hmm.
yeah, I really love that. And because of that, I I brought to them who I am back in the
Hmm.
Philippines, because I don't know if you're familiar of the challenges of going IPO, initial public offering.
Not particularly, no.
Oh, that's tough. First, you have to come up with a budget, financial budget, and then to come up with a financial budget, you have to understand the operations. You have
Mm.
to talk with all the people, most of the people in within the organization.
Okay.
Then you have the budget, you have the projection, you have the valuation of the company. Then you have to defend it before first with the government agency, especially SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. You have to convince them that your figures is not bogus, uh,
Wow.
out of the moon.
Hmm.
And then after that, then you have to present your figures, your company to the stakeholders, to the uh, investor bankers, prospective investors. So
Hmm.
I did that. I,
Wow.
um, yeah, so that's the one I brought to my current employer because they
Hmm.
trust me. The other two employers, the real estate company, even that manufacturing company, there are, I would say, they are still in the sole proprietorship mindset.
Okay. Bit of a different work environment.
they
Yeah.
they clock you. Oh, you're absent this day. So that these people, they trust me. And I thought that's
Yeah.
that's very good.
It sounds like you found a career and a lifestyle that you sound really happy when you talk about it,
Yeah,
frankly.
I'm very happy. I'm very proud
Mhm.
and for my achievements.
Wow.
And we just bought a, what is this? A 8 bedroom home
Oh my goodness.
last February,
Wow.
because we can now afford it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, before we just live in the basement.
Yeah. Sure, a
Then
lot of people can relate to.
then when I become an accountant with my wife, we bought our first duplex.
Hmm.
Then after 3 years, we upgraded to a single detached home, huge home,
Wow.
it's huge, 8 bedroom.
Wow.
It's 4,500 square feet.
Good for you, and congratulations on
Oh,
on the
thank you.
success that you've seen. That's
So
really
that's
inspiring.
that's the fruits of patience and getting the Canadian credentials.
Hmm.
It's a must in Canada. Even my wife, for example, my wife was a registered nurse in New York
Okay.
and New Mexico, but in Canada she was not recognized. So she has to go to school. She went to Kwantlen
Okay. Yeah.
for what they call it refresher or whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, then when she become an RN, she's making more money than I do.
It's an amazing story.
And I think Aston is playing a very good role in that area, because you may be at college now, but just like my experience, because of my Canadian accounting diploma, I'm now pursuing my CPA.
Hmm.
In fact, my wife was just earlier. I was talking with my wife. I said, you know, I was looking at those job posting. They demand a CPA for at least 5 years experience, but the offer price was only 75,000, and I'm now making 100,000, almost
Mhm.
more than more than 100,000 a year. Why do I need a CPA?
Seems like it's that ongoing conflict between the experience and the credentials and finding balance there and the right job opportunity for you.
Yeah, I think my advice to your students or prospective students,
Mhm.
and you can use it as part of your bullet points. Canadian credential is the key to open the door for Canadian experience, and that's my experience. That's what happened to me.